Hello and welcome to One Word Podcast, the most unpredictable podcast in the world. I'm Jacob, and today I'm joined by Nick. Hi, Nick.
Ooh, how's it going?
I'm doing really well. Can you tell our listeners what you do for a living?
Well, I work at Camera Corner Connecting Point. I kind of started the Camera Corner Studios division, so I work in our rental department, and I help out with people trying to make podcasts or videos or whatever.
That sounds pretty cool. If someone out there listening to this is like, man, this podcast is really stupid. I think I could do one better. How would they reach out to you for that info?
Well, other than contacting ReleaseWire, they can reach me at 920-43... What is my number? Let me do that over. It's 920... And you don't have to edit, because I don't edit any of my shows unless they tell me to. It's 920-272-0148.
Well, look at that. An actual real phone number.
I had to remember what it was because I almost gave out my cell phone, and that would not have gotten you what you wanted.
It would have been 920. Beep!
Yeah, right.
All right, so I hope you know how this show works. I did explain it to you like a minute ago.
Yeah, you gave me like a very short overview, and I'm thinking that's all there is to it.
Absolutely. It's really simple concept. For those out there who don't know how this works, I have two completely 100% randomly generated words. And you're going to choose one of them, and that's going to be the subject of our podcast. And we're just going to talk about it for a little while.
Okay, I can do that.
All right. Are you ready for your words?
Absolutely.
They're a doozy.
Okay.
Your words, and I love these ones, are abstinence. And wait for it, volcano.
Well, I know more about abstinence than volcanoes.
You do?
Not by choice. Let's do abstinence.
All right. What, do you just not like lava exploding out of a giant crevice in the earth?
I just don't know a ton about it. I don't know how much more I could expunge upon lava and whatnot. Like I said, I don't know. I don't even know what to say I don't know.
All right, then we're going with abstinence, something it sounds like you have a lot of experience with.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah. My wife just had a baby, so we're at the end of that phase now, so we're good.
All right. Can you explain what the word abstinence means?
Well, abstinence is to abstain, commonly used in the term of sexual activity, but it doesn't have to be. You can be abstaining from video games. You can be abstaining from work. So abstinence is the process of abstaining from something.
What do you abstain from?
Ooh, you're right. This is a deep show.
I know.
What do I abstain from? Free time. I mean, I try to keep myself as busy as I can so I don't have enough time to think.
That's always a good way to do things. So you mentioned there are different types of abstinence, with one that's most well known. Sexual abstinence.
Sure.
Is this something that you have experience with?
Well, I mean, there was definitely a time. I am a married man now.
See, I can't give you the easy questions. That's not fun.
No, it's not. I am a married man. So there was a time in my life where abstinence was a big, important part of my life, but not so much anymore.
All right. So not to, I've made things super personal. Are you ready for them to jump back a little bit?
Sure.
I can pretty much guarantee that someone listening to this podcast is abstinent.
Probably.
Not by choice.
Right. I don't know a lot of people that are by choice, to be honest.
What's your advice for that person out there, whoever they may be?
Advice.
How to get the girl/guy of their dream.
I think the true honest answer, not trying to be funny, but the true honest answer is to figure out who the hell you are and then represent that person as well as you can.
You need to sell yourself?
No, not sell yourself, but, discover yourself.
Well, let me tell you why you want some Jacob.
Sure. Why do I want some Jacob? Tell me.
Well, it's simple. It's an all-in-one package. You get...
Yeah,
I don't have any redeeming
the red hair,
features.
right?
A brilliant red coat.
Yeah. The PlayStation shirt. You could wake up with that in the morning.
Absolutely. And I have a steady job talking about people, and I can talk about my person I'm in a relationship on a show and make them feel really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Boom, that's
I
a song.
probably crossed that line already talking. Yeah.
All right, so abstinence. What else comes to mind with abstinence? There's been big talks with abstinence-only education versus comprehensive sexual education.
Yeah.
Look at that. Big topic.
It is a big topic, and that could be a show in and of itself. I mean, it is. So the whole idea of teaching only abstinence, I think that makes the most sense to like a type of religious education. But we're in a world where I feel like you have to make some kind of compromises and teach some of the other options out there. You can't always rely on animals to hold back their animalistic instincts.
No kidding, especially since most of that's taught to teenagers.
Exactly.
And teenagers are, well, what's the word you'd use for teenagers? How would you describe them?
I think My Chemical Romance said it best.
Okay.
Teenagers scare the living shit out of me.
Oh.
And there's a reason for that because they've reached this age of maturity where they know how to do things, but they don't necessarily know how, why, or if they should do something. They know that they can, but they don't really look at the whole picture.
And they know they're not supposed to, which
Right.
is a plus for them.
Which is even
yeah,
something. Yeah.
I like to rebel.
Exactly. Geez, my wrestling days come to mind. That was something that my parents did not want me to do, and they weren't exactly excited about, but I was going to do it anyways because I was old enough to drive my car. I was going to go where I wanted to go.
Would you say they wanted you to abstain from wrestling?
Hey, there's a tie back.
Yeah, there we
Absolutely.
go. See how that works?
Wow.
Yeah.
So I think I'm starting to get the show.
Yeah. We're only like 6-7 minutes in, and now you're getting it.
See, there we go.
Yeah.
It's only a 10-minute show, really?
Yeah, really.
Wow.
So the thing with it, abstinence. Are there any occasions where you think abstinence is a really good thing and any where you think it's a really bad thing?
I think it's great for people to abstain from killing each other.
Well,
I guess depending on who the subject is, right? And not so great abstaining. I guess from paying your bills, not such a good thing to abstain from.
thank you for that financial advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that. We got finances. We got wrestling in this. We got sex.
Right.
Good episode, right?
Yeah, sure. What else do we need? Drugs? I mean, drugs are a thing. People, sex, drugs, rock and roll. If you're trying to sell something.
So you just brought up drugs. That's another can of worms.
Yeah, sure.
So a can of worms that you open and you happen to consume them and they make you see crazy colors.
Right.
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 So how do you feel on drugs? Should you abstain from them or does it depend on the drug?
Wait, how do I feel on drugs or how do I feel about drugs?
Either or, your call.
Well, I'm not on right now. Drugs have their purpose, their place. Of course, you can say your pharmaceuticals versus your non-pharmaceuticals. I assume you're talking about non-pharmaceutical drugs. I think the condition of our country, some things are overprotected. Like, there's a lot of places that are talking about the legalization of marijuana. I'm not necessarily fighting for it, but I'm not against it. There are a lot of harder drugs that cause a lot of problems, so I think it's best that people abstain from those.
Can you give us an example?
Sure. There's a lot of problems with people on methamphetamine in some areas of the nation. There's a lot of...
I saw Breaking Bad too.
Did you? Yeah. There's a fun story about Breaking Bad, and it's not that fun, but I'm going to tell it anyway.
Go ahead. It's your time.
I was sick and off of work for like a week. I think it was 2 years ago, and I was just really, really bad sick. And all my friends were telling me, you got to catch up on Breaking Bad. It's the best show. You're going to love it. So in my, drugged up, barely conscious haze, I got on Netflix and I started marathoning through Breaking Bad. And I got to this part where there's a guy in a bathtub that's not in the bathtub anymore.
I know what you're referring to.
And I liked the show. There was nothing wrong with it. I think that was like episode 6 or 7. It's not deep into the series. But after that, I just never watched it again. No good reason.
You abstained from it?
I did.
Ta-da!
See?
Got it. Yep. Is that something you're going to revisit?
Probably not. I just don't have time. That's the problem. Is I abstain from free time, so also
You abstain
television.
from like all TV shows?
Not intentionally. Like I'm a huge fan of like the news talk, like Daily Show, John Oliver show, those kinds of things. Bill Maher. I like those things.
So besides those, what are some TV shows you actually do make the time for?
I try to make the time for at least one of the WWE pay-per-views a month, just to kind of stay in the circle, stay in the know of what's happening. From time to time, I'll occasionally catch Raw, and then it's mostly the comedy shows. So I've loved the Amy Schumer program. I love Comedy Bang Bang, but I don't really carve out time for them. I have a DVR. I should say my wife has a DVR. I don't use it. I don't force myself to catch anything.
You mentioned the WWE, and I know you're a big wrestling fan.
Oh yeah.
Right? What is something the WWE needs to abstain from?
Ooh. For people that watch, they'll know exactly what I mean. They need to abstain from Roman Reigns.
I don't watch wrestling, but all I hear about with it is, God, I hate Roman Reigns.
So Roman's an interesting character. Like he's a good wrestler, and he, the fans just aren't behind him, and I don't have a good reason for it. He's a good wrestler. He seems to have worked his way up from the bottom. Maybe he got too big of a push too early, or maybe it was just the way the storyline's written, and I just missed that part of the life. But he got overused for a while.
Yeah, they were trying to push him as the new poster boy, and it did not work.
Well, I think what they're trying to do is to make more John Cena's and Brock Lesnar's, but that's really hard to do if nobody ever beats Brock Lesnar. You want to make a new Brock Lesnar, let him lose.
Ah, I see.
I think that's an important part for them.
So they're trying to create new superstars without losing the old superstars.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think it really matters for WWE. They have fans, they have network subscribers, they have lots of money, they have arenas selling out. They don't need to change anything. You can listen to all these. Like Metzler has a great show, Wrestling Observer, and I know Colt has a show. Cabana has his own show, and I think CM Punk might even have a show now. And all these guys want to talk about what needs to be different in the business. Nothing needs to be different because everybody's still consuming. We don't have a mass exodus of wrestling fans. It's not cool to be a wrestling fan. I mean, I've struggled with that forever, right? I mean, I still have people that go, oh, you watch guys playing dress up and grabbing each other? Yes, I do. It's entertainment.
Oh, what a conversation. You've got some deep, real thoughts on wrestling, huh?
I was in it for a long time. And I was never someone. Like, if you ever ask about Nick Santowski, no one's going to know who that is. But I cared passionately about it. In fact, so passionately that I made a jackass of myself on more than a few occasions in front of an audience. So,
Wow. Did you need to abstain from doing that?
yes, I had to back off for a while. Actually, it was, at the beginner level of wrestling, nobody gets paid, or they get paid very low amounts. So, I found paying work that coincided with wrestling, and money won. So, my abstinence from wrestling really was a function of me becoming a DJ. Oh, yeah.
Is that something you abstain from now?
No.
DJing? No, you like doing that?
So I tried to take a break and slow down with the baby coming. And then once the baby was born, my wife was like, oh, my God, please take some gigs. So, I went from having no plans from August through October to being booked solid every week, October through the end of the year.
Wow.
Just like that. So,
Sounds like you keep yourself busy, like you're saying.
yes.
All right. Now, do you have any final thoughts on abstinence?
Final thoughts on abstinence. I will abstain from offering them.
Ah. Way to be difficult. You're doing great. You're doing great. Then you ruined the episode. Nah, I should abstain from insulting my guests.
There you are.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you for coming on the show. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me.
What do you think?
I'll abstain from sharing.
Oh. I think you've got a conspiracy with Elliot. Because Elliot is the show's most vocal critic.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, absolutely. He's been on the show twice now, and whew. So I think you're in on it.
I could be. I mean, he did give me the teaser for what I was in for, so he kind of warmed me up to the idea, but didn't properly prepare me.
Did you're like, yeah, you got to make it hard on Jacob. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, he was just basically like, it'll be fun. Show up and play the game. I'm like, okay.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on and playing the game.
Thank you.
I'm going to abstain from continuing this episode, and I'm going to say that if anyone wants to listen to more episodes, they can go to www.onewordpodcast.com. Don't abstain from doing that, right, Nick?
Right.
See, look what we did there. All right, and I'm going to say goodbye. See you guys later.